This Infinite Fortress Warfare barrel stuffing build may have just snuck its way into the shotgun meta list. Mako's Buck here, and today let's go over an endgame raining cash build. Kicking it off with our main weapon, and that is going to be the DB12 shotgun Raining Cash. Raining Cash triggers Fortress Warfare on reload, but has a cooldown of 10 seconds. While in Fortress Warfare, attack plus 5% every 0.5 seconds, effect can stack up to 8 times. After losing Fortress Warfare, stacks are reduced by 1 every 1 second. While in Fortress Warfare State, crit rate plus 30% and damage reduction plus 30%. We will be modding our Raining Cash with United We Stand Fortress Warfare. The more players inside Fortress Warfare, the greater the weapon damage bonus, up to 40%. And yes, you do count as one of those players, so you do benefit from this while solo. Our Raining Cash accessories will be the Tactical Laser Sight and the Compact Reflex Sight. Our calibration print for Raining Cash will be the lightweight style print for 150% reload speed at the cost of magazine capacity. You will want double crit rate on your calibration as well. Having the lightweight calibration print is pretty much what makes this build kind of insane for damage. It allows you to bypass having to do the slow pump action animation, as you will be reloading after each single shot, which ends up being a lot faster than the pump you do after every 2 shots. Constantly reloading also has you maintain Fortress Warfare constantly. The best way to do this reload cheese is to hold down left click on your mouse and spam your R key. We will be pairing our Raining Cash with our key armor piece, the Earthly Boots. When hitting marked targets, gain plus 30% damage. This means that we will be using a Bullseye weapon for our secondary weapon to constantly get this 30% damage buff. You can go with either the Wildfire pistol or the Bingo sniper rifle. Both will want rapid shot style prints with double weak spot damage and accuracy boosting accessories. You will also want to run Vulnerability Amplifier on your Bullseye weapon. The Bullseye adds 8% to vulnerability. We will be pairing all of this with 4 pieces of the Lone Wolf Gearset, as this will be a crit rate and crit damage build. 4 pieces of Lone Wolf grants plus 10% magazine capacity, plus 5% to crit rate, and get 1 stack of Lone Shadow with every 2 weapon critical hits. Lone Shadow grants plus 6% critical damage for 30 seconds and can stack up to 8 times. 4 pieces will increase your max Lone Shadow stacks to 10 and will grant 8% crit rate for 2 seconds after reloading. We will be pairing 4 pieces of Lone Wolf with 1 piece of the Bastille Gearset for 10% weapon damage when your HP is above 70%. Now that we have our gear figured out, let's mod it. Starting with our helmet, will be First Move Advantage Violent. After reloading, gain plus 10% crit rate and plus 30% crit damage for 2 seconds. As we will be reloading after every single shot, this buff will stay up the whole time. Our mask will be Light Cannon Fortress Warfare, gain plus 15% attack while inside Fortress Warfare at the cost of not gaining super armor while in Fortress Warfare. Gloves will be Crit Amplifier Violent for plus 10% to crit rate and plus 15% to crit damage. The shoes will be Covered Advanced Violent, taking no damage within 4 seconds, grants plus 20% to weapon damage. Now, typically with a crit build, we would be putting Deadshot Violent on our pants. However, we are constantly reloading after every shot, so that pretty much negates all of Deadshot. So for your pants and your chest, you will want to run a blue crit damage enhancement Violent mod on both of them for plus 2% to crit rate and plus 12% to crit damage per mod. We will be using the Fortress Warfare variant on our mask and weapon and the Violent variant on all of our other mods, so that our main stat will always be for Fortress Warfare damage and crit damage. Substats to go for on your Fortress Warfare mods will be weapon damage while in Fortress Warfare, crit damage while in Fortress Warfare, and your typical damage to Great Ones. Substats to go for on your Violent mods will be weapon damage, damage to Great Ones, and reload speed. Now let's get into some items that will really up our DPS and take this build over the top. Our deviation is going to be the Lone Wolf's Whisper for a buff to weapon damage received by the enemy attacked by the dog. Our food options for this build will be Mixed Fried Hot Dog for a 20% damage increase to enemies affected by the Bullseye, or Crumbly Bread for a 25% increase to all weapon damage. Your drink buff for the build will be Stardust Raspberry Shaved Ice to extend your Bullseye effect's duration by 20%. The best in slot ammo will be the Tungsten AP Shotgun ammo made with Platinum Crystals for an extra 25% damage while in Fortress Warfare State and an extra 15% damage per shot. As always, I will link the CRADLE setup and a link to one's human dex in the description of the video below. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up, subscribe, and turn those notifications on. See you next time.